Good morning, boys and girls, and Friday is here. This is the last day before you enjoy a well-earned midterm break. And it is indeed well-earned because you have been working so hard up until this point. And I just want to say thank you to you and to mummies and daddies at home and other grown-ups who have been helping you and guiding you through your schoolwork each and every day. All right? So just before we go off on our midterm break and put those packs of work away for a week, let's just look at our Friday work. Beginning with our date, and today is Friday, the 12th of February, 2021. That's Friday, the 12th of February, 2021. And Friday is spelling test day, so let's have a quick read through these spellings. You can say them before me. Jaw, jeans, June, July, page, change, large, giant, gentle, edge, bridge, and juggle. Sounds and focus is all looked through for this week, so let's move on to our literacy for today. And today we are doing our longer piece of writing. And I have to say, over the past few weeks, the quality of your writing for these longer pieces has been fantastic. I've been so pleased with the work you have produced. Your detailed sentences, your description, your use of the words and because to make your sentences longer has really been brilliant, so well done. Let's have a look at this farm picture. We've got a cow behind a fence. We've got ducks in and by the pond, and you can see some little ducklings there as well. We've got a cat by the door, possibly waiting for a saucer of milk. We've got a dog eagerly waiting, I think, for someone to come out so he can help on the farm. We've got a big tractor here, green and yellow, so it looks like it might be a John Deere tractor. And we have a beautiful blue sky with a few clouds and a lovely country lane. Okay, so lots to describe there. And of course, by all means, you can use your imagination as well to write about this. So you could say that the cat is excited because it's soon time for milk. You could say the ducklings are having fun with mum by the pond. You could say the cow is looking fed up and wants to get out into the big field for some lovely green grass. You can really use your imagination and write about anything that you can see on the farm or anything that you think might be happening. For our maths today, we continue with data handling, and today we are looking at Carroll diagrams. And Carroll diagrams are little tables that help us to sort our information into groups. And sometimes it can be sorted into 2 groups, or it could be sorted into 4, and it can even be sorted to even more groups than that, but we're just going to look at 2 and 4. Now you can see these children, these children are sorting numbers into groups, but we're going to look at these ones. They're sorting shapes into groups. And they're sorting their shapes into groups that have 4 sides and groups that don't have 4 sides. So when you see the word 4, when you see 4 sides there, but there's a red line through it, a red X, you know that that's the shapes that do not have 4 sides. So can you think of one shape that has 4 sides that could go in here? A square. A square would be one example. Can you think of any shape that we've talked about in the past, a 2D shape that does not have 4 sides? Well, let's see what they've done here. They've done a triangle. You can see they have a square and a rectangle here, and they're sorting through the rest of their shapes now as well. Now, question A asks you to sort a set of flat shapes into 2 sets. Well, unfortunately, we can't do that because not all of us have a set of flat shapes just sitting at home. So we're going to move on to part B. Part B asks you to draw out this Carroll diagram. Now use a ruler if you can and put the headings on, 4 sides and then 4 sides with a red X through it. And it says draw shapes in a diagram like this. So you draw your table and then you draw shapes in each column. Shapes that have 4 sides and shapes that do not have 4 sides. And you could draw 3 or 4 shapes in each column. Part C then asks you to list the names of the shapes that have 4 sides. So once you've finished your drawing, look at the shapes you've drawn here and write their names. So you'd probably be writing square, rectangle, and whatever else you can think of. All right. Part 2 then asks you to try to sort the shapes into 4 sets. So again, we don't have a set of shapes, so we're going to move on to part B. And again, I want you to draw out this Carroll diagram. And you'll see that there's 4 criteria here. Shapes with 4 vertices, shapes that do not have 4 vertices. Now, when they talk about vertices, as we know, they're talking about the corner points on each shape. So a rectangle has 4, 1 corner, 2, 3, 4. A triangle has 3 vertices, 1, 2, 3. So when they say vertices, they're talking about the corner points. And here on this side, they're talking about sides. So of course we know what sides are. A rectangle has 4 sides. A hexagon has 6 sides, and they're all the same length, aren't they? Now, these shapes are here for ideas for you, so you can use them if you want. But there's some repeats. There's a hexagon and then another hexagon. So you can think of your own shapes, but this will just stimulate your ideas. All right. So if a shape has all sides that are the same length and it has 4 corners, you would draw it in here. Okay. Now, if a shape has sides that are all the same length, but it doesn't have 4 corners, you would draw it in here. So for example, your hexagon, because all the sides are the same length, but it has more than 4 corners. Here, if a shape has all sides that are not the same length, but it has 4 corners, you would put it in here. So for example, your rectangle. All sides are not the same length, but it does have 4 corners. And finally, if a shape does not have all sides the same length, and it doesn't have 4 corners, you put it in here. All right, so you could, for example, put a triangle in here. Now, not the one where all sides are the same length, but you could do like an isosceles triangle that has 2 long sides and a shorter side. That way, it doesn't have 4 corners and it doesn't have all sides the same length. All right. Question C then asks you to name a shape that has 4 corners and all sides the same length. So you have to name one of the shapes that you drew here. One that has 4 corners and all sides the same length. Question B asks you to name a shape which does not have 4 vertices and does not have all sides the same length. So a shape that does not have 4 vertices and does not have all sides the same length, you're going to name one of the shapes that you drew in here. So maybe your isosceles triangle. But you can decide which shape you want to write down. So that is your written work for today, boys and girls. Carry on as well, as I know you will, with your accelerated reading using Oxford Owl and with your Sumdog as well. And then after that, you can put the pack of work away for a week and have a well-earned break. And I'll see you again on Monday, the 22nd of February. Talk to you then. Bye-bye.